Hello, I am here to give you some evidence that brightness settings affecting the vision of which you're able to catch dots evidence, and that there are periods of times where you can actually catch it from outside the door, just literally sitting here. It does require some finesse though, and I'll show you that in a second. But as you can see here, it is relatively dark. Like, if I were to turn everything off, you wouldn't be able to see anything, and I'm even standing at the door. This is a weak flashlight, and like if I were to go inside the house, you would barely see beyond what's inside the scope of the circle from the flashlight. So I'm just going to not go over that and instead get on with the point that you'll be able to see dots plain as day, like you just saw right there. The only problem I've run into rather often is that for some reason the dots model, I'm pretty sure this is a bug and it's not intended, but the model itself doesn't exclusively run along the floor surface. And what I mean by that, it doesn't like run along the walls or like hang upside down from the ceiling. It instead elevates itself off the floor. As you can see, you just kind of ran by there. It elevates itself off the floor, like as if there was like a hidden platform or something between the kitchen counter here and the. Wow, he just kicked me out. Rude. But there's like an elevated platform which it's like sits on randomly somehow, and I don't understand why or how, but he's just kind of like floating in air while running along. I don't really get it too well, but it just like frequently the ghost seems to do that. But other than that, it's always going to be on the floor. As far as placement goes for dots, it appears that placing them on the floor in larger rooms is more optimal because it covers more range on the floor, and since the ghost can only be detectable via the floor, this is how you want it to set up. However, if it's in something like a hallway, like upstairs here in this house on Ridgeview, you would want to place them along the walls, and here's why. Is because when you're in a smaller quarters, for some reason the dots mapping or texture seems to wrap a little bit longer once it reaches another plane, and I don't get why it does that, but it does. But if you put it on the lower side of a wall, or like I would say like something like right here-ish, it'll wrap around the entirety of the floor and reach the next wall and then reach the ceiling as well. It'll basically cocoon itself around the hallway. So that would be how you do that. But back to the main point, is that the brightness setting does in fact affect the visibility of ghost evidence, in that I'm currently on 0.5 brightness setting, which is insanely low, and I'm able to see the ghost plain as day through the camera. But whenever kicks me out again, but whenever I am legitimately without the camera, I can actually start to see without the camera like quite a bit and be able to tell, and even more so with an EMF stationed near the dots, it seems to be more evident of when it happens. So I'm hoping this helps somebody out there, and yeah.